Hello, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. Guess who's back? It's Josh. Welcome back.
Happy Friday, everyone. I'm glad to be back. It was a great show last week, though. I
Yeah.
tuned in even I was standing in line at Legoland. I tuned in for a lot of it.
Didn't
But it
even
was
think
great.
about the fact that it's like lines for days, so it'd be easy to hop in.
It wasn't as bad seeing it. It was like most people had gone back to school. So it was Friday though too. So like Friday's the new Thursday and Thursday's the new Friday. So it's one of those things that like there was still quite a bit of people there, but it wasn't that bad. And we were just
Crazy.
wrapping up for the day. We were gonna head back that and like we were literally heading back as you were finishing up.
Gotcha. Perfect. Well, it was a really good episode. Ben is so interesting. I mean,
Ben is
he's such
a
one. He's
riffer
so
and a
good.
refiner at heart.
He is. He is the riffiest and refiniest, and he has been like all in my chat since then. Like, because I told him about some stuff that I was interested in working on, and he's just been like, like he's such a manager. Like he was following up on it and being like, "So how's this go? Like, are you doing it? What are you gonna do? Like, tell me about it." And I'm like, "Man, I love this."
I know I don't even do that to you. I
No,
just like, hey, okay, you did it or you didn't do it. Good job.
go for it. You
Good
do
job.
you. Awesome. Well, we
Speaking of,
know
how
that
was
you were
your?
at Legoland. What else did
Yeah,
you do?
yeah. Well, last week, or this past week, I was had like a little vacation. Came back from
Mhm.
vacation. It was my daughter's second birthday. That was why we ended up having a little vacation. But then she got sick. Like on her birthday, we were gonna have like a little party, have some friends, family over. She got sick. Then she got my wife sick. And then she got my other daughter sick, and I was just kind of isolated
Oh,
in my own room.
not the family
Um,
dominoes. Oh, that is
exactly.
the worst. Did it happen pretty quickly though? Where like they kind of all sick at the same time?
Yeah, but thankfully it happened quickly. I was just so exhausted from one, like getting back from vacation, catching up to work. I
Mm,
feel like I haven't done anything this week because then I was like, at night I was like, okay, making sure everyone's in bed and tucked away, and then I just kind of fell asleep. This is like I rarely go to bed before midnight every night.
huh, okay.
Like that's just who I am. But this was like one of the first weeks where I think only one night, last night, did I not
Right.
go to bed before midnight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
I think that's wild. And I also feel like there are two ways that a family gets sick. It is either everybody gets sick at once, which
Mm,
sometimes is great. Like sometimes you want everybody just to get sick and then be done being sick, and that way you can all move on. And then the other one you can run into is like literal dominoes where they wait till the person is completely done being sick before the next person gets sick.
oh yeah.
I one time um, we had like a stomach bug going through our house, and
Mm,
every time like we'd get one kid like better, and then the next kid would get the stomach bug, and we'd have to do it that next night as well.
yep.
And I was like, "Oh no, like Allie, what happens if like we get this and we have to like we're thrown up and then the kids are thrown like how are we gonna do that?" And thankfully, or not thankfully, I guess depending on how you look at it, we both got it, but we
Yeah.
got it the same night in the middle of the night. And by the next morning, even though we felt terrible, we were done with the stomach bug part of it. So it's like we were up all night barfing the whole night.
Ah,
The kids like we're like, okay, we got it out of the way. That was not ideal, but like, man, that was like, there's nothing worse than a
yeah.
stomach bug with kids because they don't know how to get to a bathroom. So like, you're just like, well, guess I'm just cleaning sheets and floors and everything for the next like few days.
That's
Ugh.
when you realize like, okay, maybe we'll have, a fourth backup pair of sheets ready, or maybe a fifth or
We have so
sixth,
many sheets, so many sheets. It's ridiculous. Oh goodness.
So how was your last week? What'd you do?
My last week was very good, very busy. I spent my last week finishing up stuff that we need for like our launch at Snowflake, and that is all done. Um and so that was like last last week. And so this week I had a little bit of
Okay.
free time because we are like blocked on moving forward with stuff. So
Yeah.
I've been working on a few fun projects. I
Ooh.
am designing the website for Wire Live conference,
Yeah, I
which is
heard
the
that on the
live wire conference. Yes.
I
Yeah.
heard that on the special edition, the once
When they
every
have
three
one that comes
month
out. Yeah, the
Daniel
like
Colburn.
yeah, yeah. Let me tell you, they are the goat. Like they are goated. Like they can I mean, I know they talk all the time, but like they hop back on the mics and they are just hilarious. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
how they do it, but they are just really funny, just off the cuff. I don't know how they just have that knack for it. But that was a
Yeah,
really good
Emmett, it
episode.
is happening in Buffalo. So the wire live wire conference, Caleb announced. He announced on Twitter too, but they first like talked about it on the pod when he had already talked about you on the pod too. But yeah, I've never been to Buffalo, even though most of my family are close to Buffalo, or my dad's side of the family.
Yeah. I've been looking at a lot of pictures lately because I'm designing the website and I want to show pictures, of the place. But yeah, no, it's a fun vibe. I'll have to share it when it's done. We can talk about it more publicly once Caleb has decided to release it. But he wanted to go with he called it indie rock vibe.
Indie rock.
And
Okay.
so I
A
took
little bit
that
Switchfoot
and ran
vibe.
with it. Yeah, a little grunge, a little texture. So it's been a lot of fun working on that one. And so I've been doing that and a few other things which I will share later on in the show, because it has to do with more of a topic that I want to discuss. But
Nice. So
I
since you're
want to
since
know.
you're designing it, does that mean you're going to it as well?
No. I am on 100% travel ban for the rest of the
Oh,
year.
man.
I've got one conference. I've been working on my conference talk for next month. And I'm going to that. But other
There you
than
go.
that, outside of family vacation, which we've got one that we're going on next weekend. Other than that, I'm on travel ban. No going anywhere for Will. I'm stuck here unless Allie also gets to go and we both get to get away.
That's what I am. I am probably going to go. I feel like I have to in a lot of ways. Like in the sense,
You're
like
like a Livewire guy for sure.
that I guess so. Like it's crazy the amount of people that sometimes are like, "Oh, I learned Livewire from you." I'm like, I learned it like 2 years ago. So good luck. But no, it's I'm excited to go. I'm just debating now if it is like a me trip or if like I try to bring my family because it's gonna be like more
Got family
chill.
somewhat close. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Caleb tweeted the date would be like a Tuesday. That's a good day to go. That's a good middle of the week. But yeah, it looks like Jesse. Well, if you need us to bring snacks, just let us know. Oh, Will, if you need us to bring snacks, just let us know. But Jesse, you're not gonna go church trip out of the country. Well, that's fun. What country? Oh, do you mean out of the country? Meaning like you're out of Canada and like in the States? Like that doesn't mean out of the country.
Canada, United States should not count as out of the country. I mean, I know it does.
Oh,
but
Jason, you'll be there? Oh, sick. I will probably
let me tell
be
you,
there.
those torque fellas,
They're everywhere.
Jason and Taylor, they are everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Just call me Josh Livewire Taco Bell Siri. It is crazy how those are like the two things that I've just eventually become known for. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I mean,
And
there's not
hats and
many
glasses,
people-
I guess. Like that's another
There's
thing
not
too.
many people who feel so strongly about a restaurant as Josh Siri does, especially in the tech space. There are plenty of like food influencers, but you're
man.
not a food influencer. You're just a guy who cares about Taco Bell.
Hey, I had it last night, so we're good. We're good.
Oh, man, so there's sometimes me and Allie consider Taco Bell as like the I used to call it taco smell. But it's like it is our guilty pleasure meal where it's like you get a look, you're like, what do you want for dinner tonight? And you both kind of look at each other like, should we? Like, do you want?
Should we?
All right, do we want to? Like, are we gonna do Taco Bell? Like, we feel.
Oh man.
So, and we always finish it, and we're just like, oh, that was so good. Like, I've never eaten Taco Bell and been like, man, I regret that. But I also don't have it that often, so like maybe that's the key.
Exactly. That's a good thing. You are allowed to like continue to be my co-host if like that. If that's the good thing. You never want to be like, hey, I feel bad for eating this.
No. Taco Bell is to be consumed in the car alone. No, I used to have Taco Bell all the time. In college, I was I was in design studio, and design studio, you were always there like mega late o'clock working on your projects or whatever, because you have to do them at the school in the studio. You can't really
Okay.
like be doing the projects on the go because you've got to use like resources that are at the design school.
Yeah.
And so like we'd get done, we'd leave when they like close shop, because they eventually close like all the resources or whatever. And by then all the food places are like closed too, except for, of course, Taco Bell and other fast food varieties. And there was a Taco Bell like right beside where I'd park my car. And so I would always get like late night Taco Bell, and I always had the same order, and they don't have it anymore. They used to have this like ranch, like crispy potato soft taco, and it had like they still have potato soft tacos, but now they're like spicy flavored kinds, like Chipotle or whatever. And
You
this
just
one
got to
was
customize it to make it.
it was like their
what you
old
did.
like ranch. Oh, you can customize stuff?
Oh yeah. Open up the Taco Bell app. I have like
I'm gonna check it out.
12,000 points or something on the Taco
This
Bell
was
app.
like my thing. This was my thing, was like it was this crispy potato soft taco. I'd get 2 of those and a chicken burrito, and it had like their like ranch that they had that was on it. So it was like a ranchy vibe instead of a Chipotle spicy vibe. It was so good.
Yeah, they still got the ranch and stuff too. So I bet you could like customize that spicy potato soft taco and like make
You
yours.
can so customize. Like,
Says Jason. Okay, real quick rant though. Jason says you eat those $3 steak burritos. Yes, they are very good, but also like the mini cheesy gorditas that they have right now too. There's a steak one. There's a chicken one.
Taco Bell.
They are so good. But yeah, I just tried. I saw this like reel. I don't watch TikTok too much, but like I see like the reels on Facebook or Instagram and stuff like that. Or YouTube, and there was like this viral, they say it's viral, but like, you know, viral Taco Bell order. And I tried it. It was a customization of a cheesy bean rice burrito where you add meat, add sour cream, add some like Chipotle sauce. And it was good, but it was one of those things where it's like, you know, then it's like the cheesy bean rice burrito is $1.69. Why would I add like a whole dollar to that instead of getting something else? Anyways, that's my rant.
Oh man, I love it. All right.
What's the first topic?
Eaten lunch before this. We got too down the taco rabbit hole. Let's talk about, what is a banana ball? I see banana ball here. I don't even know what that means.
I threw this in there because I don't know if it was just with my family being sick this past week, but I started like seeing a bunch of like videos and reels, and then it like gave me the algorithm for seeing this guy named Jesse Cole, who is the founder and creator of the Savannah Bananas Banana Ball. For those who don't know, Jason Torres in the chat says Savannah Bananas, wild. So you know, I bought 4 tickets to the game for $20, each resold for $800. That's crazy. See, that was what got me interested. I had already seen clips like a year ago of like people hitting, you know, like doing flips or doing dances and like doing all that, but I didn't actually know. I thought it was more of like a like Harlem Globetrotters type scenario when like they just kind of played every now and then. I didn't know it was a whole league. I didn't know they made up their own rules, and I didn't know they like, you know, the whole premise was let's make baseball fun for the fans. And so I bought his book. Literally, I watched one of these reels, I think when my family was sick and I was laying in bed. I saw a bunch of them and it was like 1 a.m. and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm gonna go buy his book. So I bought this book called Fans First by Jesse Cole, who's the creator. And I am like almost all the way done. But the whole premise of it is that how do you make something fun? You think about the audience, you think about the fans first.
Right.
And dude, I don't like it's one of those things where like I know he's just talking about like baseball, but he feels like one of those like, I don't know, one of those marketers that I'm like, oh, you are like insanely smart. And so now I'm like looking through everything that I'm doing with like my personal life or like work life or even like family life. I'm like, okay, how can I make this so like when I'm playing a game with my kids, like, or like I'm like, how can I make this so that I'm as wild and as crazy as possible? And he has a quote in here. I'm gonna butcher it. I should have bookmarked it. But he basically has he basically has this quote about like the first initial thing that he thought of when he started making up rules is what rules do you not absolutely need to do, and then work from there. So they basically, instead of saying, hey, what is fun about baseball? Well,
Right.
it's hitting a ball, it's running around the bases, and it's scoring.
Mm-hmm.
And then they worked backwards from there. They basically they
What are
had
the absolute necessary ingredients
of
for this
fun.
to even still work
Yep.
and to be good? And then
Yep.
let's just go from. I love that.
So
Okay.
they didn't like take the whole picture, and this is kind of like what's been on my mind. They didn't take this whole picture of like, okay, let's do this and slowly chip it away. They're like, okay, we're rebuilding this from the ground up, and then we'll go from there. And it made me think, like, this is like going into that existential part that's a pure form of riff and refine that we love to do. But it made me think about like how my kids play games.
Okay.
It's never like, usually they see it on Bluey or something, and then they want to do it. And in my mind, it's like, okay, in Bluey, this is how the game goes. So I can't do that because that's not how the game goes. Like, you want me to, I don't know.
Yes.
You want me to throw you up right there, but that's not how. Like, you want me to play octopus. Like, that's not how the game goes. But then they're always like, no, we're playing this, but you're actually like, you can't actually talk at all. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to play this game?
Yes. Oh man.
And so I've just been, everything in my mind has been like around this whole idea of the like marrying that theme of fun with, okay, well, what actually is the necessary ingredients? Kind of like what you said. Because they have this rule where it's like, I think even Emmett is talking about, like if a fan catches a ball, it's an out. But I think that's only in the last inning. I think that's only in the last inning.
That is so fun.
I could be wrong about that. And then they also have a rule where every single inning, you can only score 1 point. You can keep going, but the team's only going to score 1 point. Until the last inning, every run counts.
Oh,
and so he kind of thought, like, everyone leaves at like the 7th inning, right? You know who's going to win. Everyone leaves. And he's like, oh, well, if it's 3-2 and the last inning comes in, you can't win. So why would you stay? So he said, okay, now in the last inning, every run counts. And it's just this great, I don't know, this great mindset, or even just a training exercise to think, okay, what actually needs to happen for this to still be a game, or to still be what I'm trying to put out there. But then
why does this exist? That's the question they're asking, is like, okay, people like this thing, but they are not enjoying it anymore. Like, why should people care is like the question. Now there's something tangential to this that I want to bring up, because one interesting connection here is that I've noticed that baseball, like pro baseball, has started changing some rules as well, to start fixing some of these problems. And I know I've seen it in college. I don't remember. I don't watch pro baseball, so I don't know. But I know in college baseball they added a pitch clock to say, like, you can't stand on the mound not pitching. It's like a shot clock in basketball. Like, you've got to pitch it within this amount of time. And I know that came from like the Savannah Banana thing, where it's like, hey, like, we're trying to like keep the game rolling. And that's what, like, they're like, oh, well, like, let's change some things to match that. Another thing that happened to is like when jQuery came along, there were things about the browser standard that was bad. It was like very difficult to work with, to like get elements in JavaScript and manipulate them and like do actions on elements, because they were very hard to pull out of a document. And jQuery came along and was like, well, let's make that easy and enjoyable to use. And then what happened was that jQuery became less and less necessary, because the browser people said, oh, wow, like, people really love jQuery because these are actually good ideas. We should pay attention to that and start adopting some of those similar developer experience ergonomics into the language itself. And so I love this pattern of okay, something that had a monopoly or was the way of doing something, let that get to their head to where they didn't care as much about the end user experience of the thing. Like you're saying, like, the fans became not important because they thought to themselves, it doesn't matter what the fans think because we are the only solution. Like, pro baseball was pro baseball. It was all about the sport. Who cared about the fans? Because like, what else are people gonna do? And then somebody comes along that says, it just takes somebody coming along that says like, I can do this better or different because this is like awful. And they've made it so easy for somebody else to come in and actually make it better. And like, I love that pattern of like, somebody gets complacent, then somebody comes along and says, I can make it better. And then because they make it so good, the other people are like, well, I guess we need to start like trying to take some of those notes. Like clearly the fans love it. We should pay attention.
Yeah, Jason says, "What transition?" Will King with the RBI.
Yeah, I did play baseball in high school, so we're good.
But no, I think it's completely. It's like it's one of those things where usually, and I think that there's kind of like the twofold. There's the part that you said, like, okay, you just have stuck to the status quo for so long. You're just like, I just have to do it this way because that's the way it's always been done. And then there's the fold of like, okay, who actually matters? Is it like developer experience that matters, or is it like the audience, like fans, aka fans that matter? And I think like that's where, it's cool. I love like this show because it's one of those things where like we get to kind of rethink of like what we're doing, but at the same time,
like what is a classic show? Like what is a podcast? What is a thing? Also, shout out to Cammy. Cammy's in this like designer group that I'm in, and she's
nice. I love it. Hey, Cammy.
Just wanted to say hey. It's like there are all these like classical rules about how a show should be, what a show should include, and I like that idea of like paying attention to what people actually enjoy or ways that we can make it enjoyable.
Yeah. Or just like what is the actual necessities and to call it, to make this happen. We kind of like talked about like the first episode. We're like, okay, if we don't say it's live and the same time every week, we're probably never going to have the time to actually record it.
Very
and
true.
Do it.
Yes.
Scheduling. And we've been consistent. So it's been awesome.
No, yeah. That has been like my number one thing about this that I love, which is just like, all right, we're here every Friday. I don't care. Like, we may like if we're not here, we don't change the time because it's like, oh no, something that we can't move came up. It's like, all right, guess we're not doing it then. Or like one of us will just like figure it out. I like that we're not trying to like slot it in somewhere else in our week to try and make it happen. It's just one of the great things about it being live. And at the same time, one of the other things we talked about it being live and at the same time, before I move on, is there anything else that you are thinking about with this topic?
I don't think so. I was just going to say, if that is all interests you, definitely buy the book because it's been a game changer for me just in how I think about things. And I think this guy's incredibly brilliant. I don't know too much about his backstory. He doesn't go too much about it.
He was in an episode of My First Million.
I need to watch that.
I think it was like 2 years. Like I've not listened to My First Million in forever. Yeah. I used to listen to it a bunch, probably 2-ish years ago, and it was a really good episode.
I'll have to listen
because it was so interesting. It was so different, and the way he thought about it was really good. So yeah,
I'm in the weeds right now, so I'm gonna pull that up.
Go find it. Go find it. It's good. But one great thing. What's up, Duncan? And then, what's up, nerds? Taylor Descent. Are you quoting Taylor? Or is Taylor taking over Chris's account?
Taylor Desson, Chris, Michael Scott, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Perfect. One thing that's great about doing a live show and things that we can do for our fans is we can talk about things that are happening right now.
Like right now?
This post, which showed up on my timeline, that is apparently getting a lot of recognition. I'm going to copy this link. I'm gonna throw it in here for everybody.
I'll put it in the show notes too for everyone preferring that way to listen.
And I'm going to read this tweet right now because Josh, I have some hot spicy opinions about this one.
It's funny because not to take your thunder away too much, but it's funny because when you sent this to me, I was literally pulling up to a doctor's appointment for an ultrasound.
Boop, 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 boop.
For our third, yeah. That's a half announcement. There you go.
Woo! That is so exciting. I love that.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's just crazy
The reason
the
it's a
timing.
slight spoiler is this tweet says having kids before 30 is how you stay generationally poor. What? Excuse me? Like,
Generationally poor.
get out
Sorry,
of here.
sorry,
with that.
Will. You're
Oh, my
generationally
word.
poor.
Gonna be generationally poor. All right. Here is, yeah, you sure did, Alex. Congratulations to Josh for sure. All right. Here's what I'm gonna start with, and that is there is nothing wrong with waiting to have kids. That is
Yeah.
not what I want anyone to take away from this. Okay. If you want to have kids later on in life, your prerogative. If you want to never have kids, your prerogative, your choice.
Okay.
But if you want to have kids younger, also great. Here is what I will say is that the idea that having kids, especially having kids earlier, makes you like worse off is the most preposterous thing that I have ever been told in my entire life. All right.
Yeah.
For context, I have 3 kids.
Okay.
I had 3 kids before, I will say before 30. Our third kid showed up a month after I turned 30. So before even turning 30, we were already 3 kids deep.
Yeah.
And here is the reality of having children. And I saw this other tweet from a buddy of mine, Matt Winsing. He used to be like he founded a company, it got acquired, he started another one, and then he got hired by Customer.io. But he had a hilarious response to this, and his response was, "Sweet summer child, the cost of raising a kid is a function that takes your income as an input. It's actually cheaper to raise kids when you're younger and your standard of living is lower."
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
So to
riff on that for me.
To riff on that. Yeah, the thing is that when you have kids, I think what might have got him on the wrong path here is like, yes, kids are expensive. Kids cost money. But also true, kids don't cost as much money as you think. And Matt's point is that when you have kids, what changes is that you want to give your kids the world. You literally want to make their life the best that you can make it as their parent. And generally that means spending money on them. But you spend money that you have to spend. So when you have kids when you're younger, you don't have as much money to spend, so you spend less because like your kids don't actually need all the stuff that you can possibly spend on them. But if you have the money to spend on them, you're gonna spend it. You know, like that's just the nature of being a parent. And so the other reality that this, I'm going to assume, I don't know this guy, but from people that I have heard this type of argument from who make this kind of argument is because they don't have kids. And what they don't understand is that having a child is the world's biggest motivating factor to do your best in life. And not only to do your best, but to be the most efficient with your best. Because like you do lose time. You now have a whole lot more responsibilities. You are required to like take care of more. But what that also means is like you now have the biggest motivation to get things figured out. And some people don't. Some people do. There is a sliding scale. There are also people who never have kids and who, once again, don't become generationally wealthy either. Like, but for me personally, kids are the reason that I push as hard as I do. Otherwise, like I would not have the motivation needed to like pursue, like I would get so distracted about every little thing that I could possibly want to do because like, why not? I don't have anything else going on. Like, why? I don't care. Like, but having kids like focuses my, what's the word here? My ambition, I guess.
Yeah.
And like my outcomes. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna pass it off to you for a second.
Yeah. No, first of all, it's crazy. It's awesome to see everyone in the comments. Thank you all so much for being here. But yeah, everyone's loving these hot takes. Great riff, says Emmett. Jesse says we too were once kids.
All right, one second. I'll pass it off to you.
Yeah, go for that one. I was gonna do that.
I would agree with that take, but please do not get kids just to get motivated. Agreed. 100%. Do
100%
not
agree.
use kids because you're like, I've been lacking some motivation. I'm gonna just get my butt in gear by having a child. Like, no, children are a huge responsibility,
Yeah.
and like they are a human life, and your biggest priority should be taking care of them, not on like leveraging them.
Yeah. I feel like that's the same answer with like, oh, you shouldn't just, start, you shouldn't just quit your job so that you can get motivated to make it in your own job. Like,
Right,
that's just
exactly.
a dumb
Also,
decision.
boom, look at this knowledge drop. Kids, by definition, are generational wealth if you value them.
Ooh.
But the key is like,
You can't have a generation. if you don't.
right, exactly. But also like, yeah, kids are a treasure of their own. Like,
Yeah.
that's a corny line, but like, kids are way more valuable than anything else. But go ahead. All right, back to you.
Yeah. I'll agree with you, and then I'll play devil's advocate for a little bit too.
Ooh, come
Because
at me,
I
bro.
completely agree with you. And I
Okay.
love that there are more people talking about this, especially in the tech world. DHH, for example, has said on very numerous times, he's a guy who loves hot takes, as well as like he never really changes his mind at all, except for two things, kids and Linux. And when he changed his mind, he was like, I never wanted kids. My partner wanted kids. And now that I have kids, he said on like Lex Friedman's podcast and probably a bunch of other stuff. He's like, my whole world changed. And it was like, I love that kind of thing has been like awesome to see, like that shift of someone so influential and so
Absolutely.
I don't know, very strong-willed in that sense. I think he was
Right,
probably
right.
older than 30 when he had kids. So like, but I also think he's said that he wished he had kids sooner too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's one of those things where for almost everything, getting married, having kids, jobs, like there's been so many things where I have never once looked back and thought, hey, I wish I was a little bit more prepared for that before I jumped in. Maybe like 1% of the times that I'm like, oh, I wish I prepared myself more. And usually I still learned a whole bunch, so it didn't really matter.
Right.
I've never once thought, hey, I wish like I had actual money to take care of my kids, or I wish like I could have given them this before like I had my kids. Same thing with like getting married. Like there was, conversation between me and my wife before we got married. We were like, oh, like maybe we should, she was finishing up school. I was like, maybe you should just finish school. And I was like, no, like why?
Why? Okay.
There's no good reasons. And I'm in the same boat where like I had 2 kids before I turned 30. So I'm curious, Will, what would your answer be? Because I think most people's who are thinking like this in the sense of, again, you kind of gave this big general, like, here's a prerequisite that not everyone wants to have kids. And if you have a reason to, but the reason should be that, oh, if I have them before 30, then I'm not going to give them a good life. That's what this whole statement seems to hinge around.
Yes. That seems to be the statement. Or like the statement is kind of like this concept of like, once you have kids, it takes things away from your life. Like the value, like you can't do the things you want to do. Also shout out to, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but yes, we are 100% live. I like slowly like raise my hands.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I cross my fingers while you're talking because yes, like with your wife, like this is a thing from my wife. She's a kindergarten teacher. And she's like, Will, you're so forgetful. I'm going to teach you this trick I teach my 5-year-old. Cross your fingers so you don't forget what you're going to say. It's so true. Like there's this concept. My wife tells me this where it's like, if you try to like, for instance, what you were talking about, like not get married because you want to provide your wife a certain type of life, then like what you are doing is you are taking away the partnership from your relationship. Because what you are saying is we cannot figure this out together. So I'm going to put our relationship growth on hold because I haven't done something I want.
Yep.
And because like I want to do something for you that I'm deciding for you. And like what I do this a lot, not with that, but like we got like I bought a ring like 2 months after we started dating, but I do this a lot with like, oh, like there's this problem that came up. and I just wanted to take care of it so you didn't have to worry about it.
Mm.
Or like I felt this way about something, but I just pushed that emotion down because I didn't want it to be a problem, kind of thing. And she's like, every time you do that, you're taking away from like my ability to be your partner. Like this is a marriage, like we're in this together. You're taking that away from me, my ability to help you as well. And I'm like, oh, that's a good note. All right.
Yeah.
So
I'll go even spicier of a response
Ooh.
take to this before I play the devil's advocate for it.
Perfect.
The spicier take is I think most people who either want kids, but maybe like this tweet are like, hey, but I also know that I'm not going to be better off. I think it then becomes, well, then you don't really want kids or a relationship or fill in the blank for the right reason. Because usually you're probably like, I want someone to carry after my name, or I want to, have someone to, just give a whole bunch of stuff to or whatever.
Right.
If that's your reason, and I'm not saying some of that is like wrong reasons, but at the same time, like if you are like, hey, I want kids but I want to wait, that's fine. Like you said, but if you're like, hey, I want kids but I can't because then I'm not going to make any money.
These things that I want to give them, or it's going to keep me from achieving things that I want to achieve in my life because of them.
Yeah. Then it's probably, that's probably like rethinking the actual reason why you want X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
Not even just kids. Like you said, relationship, marriage, whatever that might be, is probably, if it hinges around either finances or time or, I'm going to have to give up my Saturdays because now I'm going to have to take them to soccer every week.
Right.
You're probably not thinking of the right way, and you're probably thinking more selfishly than you should.
Exactly. That should be like, if that is your instinct, then that might be like your signal to say like, maybe I am not ready. But if like you're so ready to do it and you're just like stressed, then like just do it. You can never be you're never going to be prepared enough for children. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. All right. Okay. What's your devil's advocate?
First off, Jesse says, I want someone to beat me in Mario Kart and challenge my ego. That's a valid reason. There you go.
I just got Palmer, our oldest, playing Mario Kart regularly, and she's starting to get really good now, and it's fun.
Okay. My devil's advocate, I kind of blew my cover with doing that spicier take. But my devil's advocate then for my question for you is usually when I'm talking to people in real life or even online of like, hey, I want kids and I know I could have them right now, but then what happens to like the stuff I miss out on? I'll never be 27, 28, 29, 30 again. Like what if I want to travel the world and see all this stuff?
Right.
What's your answer to that?
All right. I think this is me and Allie talk about this a lot, which is
what if?
No, not what if. We don't actually talk about that at all.
Yeah.
We're like the exact opposite. And like I think that's the key is like knowing yourself when it comes to that. Like we knew we didn't have kids early for like no reason at all. Like we chose to have the kids early and really young because we wanted to be young parents. We want to be young parents. We want to be young grandparents. We cared more about the memories that we would make with our kids
later
than the memories that we would be able to make on our own while we were young.
Yeah.
And like, that's different for some people. And like, that's totally fine. Like you need to know yourself, I would say. So like, if you're worried about missing out on stuff, the question is, are you actually going to take advantage of those? Like, because I think a lot of people say, well, I want to travel when I'm young. And then all they do is work and never travel.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden it's like they're in their 30s, they haven't traveled and they have no relationships and they have no kids. Because they've prioritized the wrong thing. But no, I knew that I wanted to be able to dunk on my boys when they were teenagers. So I needed to stay young. And I had old grandparents that I didn't like. My grandparents were not around for very long. And Allie's grandparents are still around. Yeah. And her my wife's grandparents have like 8 great grandchildren that they have a close relationship with.
That's so
and
awesome.
Like that to like, we knew that was the life that mattered to us. because like we will have money at some point in our life. We will have no kids. We will have no responsibility. We will have an empty house and we will have nothing else to do other than travel. And like the world is still out there. And maybe we don't, you know, like maybe something happens and like we don't make it to old age. But like we both knew that like the thing that we could not imagine wanting more than was like our like being a family and making a family. So that like I think it's a priority thing. And I think kind of like what you said, it's like you got to reflect on yourself. Like, why are you hesitating? Why do you think a certain way? Because kids on their own do not keep you from attaining or achieving anything in life, is my like hard opinion. And if you have the right mindset around it, they motivate you to achieve the things that you actually want out of your life, because they force you to optimize, like they force you to prioritize your time. They force you to prioritize your relationships and prioritize like what you focus like your attention and your like pursuits on.
Yeah, I love it. And I think like DHH even said in one of his interviews, I think he pulled up statistics too, but in the sense that there was infinitely more people who had kids later that regretted not having them earlier than there ever was for people who had kids earlier.
Yep.
Which I think regrets is a good stat. I'll take it.
Regret minimization sounds like a fantastic approach.
As a statistic. I love it.
All right. I got nothing else on this topic.
You got nothing else?
Nothing else.
Do we got any B-roll today? Like what's been going on in the
B-roll. Okay, here's one.
Behind the scenes stuff.
Behind the scenes. Something I've been thinking. Well, here's a B-roll. I was planning on filming stuff at Laracon and I just didn't.
I think everyone was.
Yeah, and I think this is just this like one reality that I'm facing is that I love doing this show. Like love doing this show. Like this is like a really fun thing. What I did not enjoy, which was like I thought, oh well, because I'm enjoying this and I want to make more content, I will enjoy filming other things and other people and inserting myself into situations for content. Big nope. Did not like that feel. Like I was like, I'm not about to put a camera in somebody's face. Like no chance. Like I'm not going up there and bothering them with.
Like I'm not like, those torque boys. Like.
Yeah. no. Like well, they're good at. Like I don't know what it is about it, but it's just like they do it. I didn't mind it at all, but it just felt like I don't know. Like I want to film more stuff with more people. Like I want to do vlog type content, but I want it to feel like the situation calls for it. Okay. And that situation didn't feel like it called for it. Like one thing we've talked about doing is like, it would be super awesome to be able to like have like a hackathon style thing, like have some in-person type of event that I get to run.
A Riff and Refine con?
A Riff and Refine con, like some kind of just in-person something that like fits with like the things that we value. And like a hackathon was like one of the like shape of ideas that we thought, like something very interactive. And that would feel like the right place to have like a very vlog style video content type approach to it. And it would be like expected and not be something people are uncomfortable with, because like that's the thing that they signed up to come do. And I didn't feel that way when I was like walking around. So I was like, I don't want to do this, but I do want to find places to where I can make more content. I
like it.
Doing and making.
Yeah. So if you out there have a company who wants to fly us in to do a sponsored hackathon and bring at least tens of people in attendance.
Hundreds of tens.
Hundreds of tens. No, I think that's a good goal for us to shoot for. As like, okay, beginning of next year, what does that look like?
It'd be
and
fun
where?
to do some sort of like riff and refine in-person thing.
Mhm.
And not necessarily like something that we run.
Yeah.
That's like our thing, but it's like we
Show up to
use
something.
right. We participate, like we are the I don't know. And I don't want to say we're the personalities,
Yeah.
but like we're the MCs of it, you know, like we are helping facilitate it, I guess is the right word that I'm looking for.
I like it.
But also related to that behind the scenes is I think that we've talked about doing this and I think we are fine with just like cruising along the way we're going, but I think it would be really cool to get on the bottom of this screen while we're live like a little marquee, a little ticker tape of some logos,
Okay.
of people that want to promote on the show, because I think we're going to be doing this for a long time and I want to start trying to start the engine of like how we can bring promotion like value to like bring funds in to support us doing this. I think we've talked about it'd be great to do some big things like the hackathon or like some kind of event thing like that. But it would also be great to do like running sponsorship kind of thing. Kind of, and I wanted to talk to, we had talked about this. We need to try to get business dad Ian on here, because one thing that I am very, very unsure about is like how do you
when, why?
Right. Like how do you set that up? Like how do you take in money to be split between two people? How do you do it in the right way to where you don't get dinged on like taxes? I don't know if you just recently listened to not Notes on Work, Talking Businessly with Daniel and John, the Thunk Boys, but they were like going through some financial tax governmental woes, and I'm like, I don't want that to happen, but I do want to start that like business engine behind this in some shape or form. So it's like we need to have Ian on to talk to us about how to do that right.
Exactly, because I have done it a couple of times with other partners and people and myself, and I feel like I've done it wrong every single time. And so it'd be nice to know like what parts should I actually do right. Well, speaking of guests, like we got the native PHP Shane gang in cloud. I think
Friday.
We're working on getting them on next Friday, so that'd be awesome.
Might be a fun little PHP episode next week with the native boys.
Yeah. Lance, sorry that I couldn't be at DK. I know that there's great people from the team there, but yeah, I missed that. Prithviraj, thanks so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Good to see you.
Donations on YouTube?
I guess so. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
I'll share the winnings with you.
Oh, don't worry about it. Like I said, we don't have a business entity.
we
We're
don't
not
have business
tax trouble. That's money. Money is yours. Don't even send it my way.
Hey, Tito, nice to see you. Yeah, business 101 course. That's what this should be. Is like, let's riff and refine what a show looks like, what a pod looks like. Like business, mostly technical has gotten there.
Right. Yeah. Like what does turning something that's just something fun we do on Fridays into like a engine, I think is the way I would think about it.
Yeah, Cammy says maybe get Tommy as a guest.
He is on the list. The way that we got some advice from some people, not some people, from Mr. Landic Pages, Rob Hope, and he said that a good approach is to try and group together guests who kind of fit within. This is some B-roll here for you. To group together, like if we're going to bring guests on, like let's do some PHP, some Laravel type people, which is kind of what we've started doing, and like get a group of them together. And then when you want to move on, like try to find another group of people. And Tommy is on my list of like people who make content and are creative. So Tommy, I'm going to send you the link. He actually posted a video today. I'm gonna grab this because this is just one of the best. He's currently creating a podcast. Not a podcast. It is it's a show on YouTube, and it has got some of the most incredible creative editing that I've seen.
I don't know how he does it
called,
for like every single clip that I've seen of his.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
called State of Play. It's so good, but Tommy's a good bud, and we absolutely need to have him on, because he's very familiar with the live show thing as well. Because he ran, they haven't done it in a while, but Release Notes. It was kind of like a live show every Friday on like design news and design. So yeah, no, he'd be great to have on to talk as well. So maybe we can put Ian after a couple of PHP people, and we can kind of start tying in like business of content kind of.
Ooh, I like it.
Interesting. Because I want to. I've talked to Tej, from Primogen Tej, and I was gonna try to have them on to talk about like what it's like how they got into their content thing and like the way they think about their approach to content, because it's so different than anyone else in the developer space.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Cool. All right.
I love it. Well, now you guys know the B-roll. Cut it up. Awesome.
All right. What is 8th sleep?
I
know what an 8th sleep is, but what is a 1/8? What is a 1/8 sleep?
You've heard of 8th sleep. Now this is the 1/8 sleep. So I'm gonna plop open this little tab right here.
Please do, because I want to know what is happening right now.
If you can add that to the stage, I'm gonna scroll through this. But basically, plop this up. I found this and I was like, I don't do much like hardware stuff. And so I'm going to let this be my hardware journey this next week. Okay. Maybe not next week. I won't commit to that. Well, this next month, I want to build this. I've always wanted an 8 sleep, but I don't want to, and I don't think my wife would allow me to spend $3,500 or whatever it is to get it and keep it, because I know there's a subscription. So I saw this blog post where this person, I think you pay like $50 a month or something like that to get the stats and everything. It's crazy.
That's the only reason you get it, right? Stats.
But this person made a 1/8 sleep because it costs 1/8 the cost of an 8 sleep.
Oh, I love
And so in this blog post, they walk through basically like, it's a $200 a year purchase subscription.
Mm-hmm.
And like $3,000 to $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess 2,400 to 70. That's a huge jump, depending on options.
Massive difference, yeah.
But this whole blog is really incredible because it basically goes through like, okay, what does it actually do? What are the other options? There's like a chili pad. I've heard of that one.
Yep.
And then there's like $140 like random Chinese ones and like a cooling gel mattress pads. But basically, this whole setup with a smart plug ended up allowing to be the 1/8 the cost of an 8 sleep. While also like being able to be controlled via phone as well. So it's like a cooling system that you replace with an evaporator cooler from a fish tank cooler, then a stronger pump, some extension tubes, so like put it into a closet if you want. It's crazy. And like it ends up like I forget where this person talks about it, but there's obviously cons.
Obviously.
But I've always wanted I think like the con is like you can't have it be like half the bed is warm, half the bed is cool.
Right.
But I am so wanting to do this, and I'm trying to find one that I can only cool like half the size so that I don't
like
freeze
if you could do like
out.
a twin bed size one, and just put
so that's going to be like my part of this. This is I found this. I'm going to riff on it. Refine it,
and maybe refine a twin-sized.
Exactly.
A 1/16 sleep, if you will.
1/16 sleep, and see where to go from there. But yeah, I'm pumped to like try it out because I've always wanted to do more things with my hands, in the sense of like building stuff that I can feel accomplished. I'm like, hey, I put that together.
I don't know how we managed to do this, Josh, but there's a reason that we're doing this show together, and I think it is because we are on the same freaking wavelength. Guys, I kid you not when I say that we don't prepare ahead of time. Like, no, we do in the sense that
we rarely text each week.
We have a formula that's like, hey, all right, Josh, we make like a project in Linear, and like we'll put stuff in there. When we say stuff, it's like literally just 2 words to remind the person who wrote it what it even means, like what it is, like. So Josh put 1/8 sleep. I don't know what that means. And I have put this one that I put the words of you can make anything is the what I put. And, and so I'm going to put up this little video, and Josh doesn't know that this is what I was going to talk about, and I didn't know that that's what Josh was going to talk about. All right, you get the idea. All right, this is
That's hauntingly beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy, his name is Winter Gatan. I don't know how to pronounce it. But I'm gonna post his. I'm gonna post the link to his Twitter. But this is like stuff that he does, where he just like builds. He combines like instrument and music with like hardware and technology, and just creating stuff. Yes, Rob mentioned him as well. And it's just so interesting, and I love it. And the reason I wanted to mention this was because this yesterday, something that I had purchased finally arrived, and that is a 3D printer.
Oh, nice.
Let's now have a 3D printer. What I also have with me right here is like an e-ink screen.
Okay,
and
nice.
Like a little like Raspberry Pi Zero, and a lot of things that are required to start working on hardware projects, because your boy is going physical now. All right,
You're following that Primeagen jury.
Oh, is he doing stuff?
Yeah, he's been doing some like electronic printing. I don't know what you call that, but that's been interesting to see.
That sounds awesome. I wanted to start doing, and the reason I want to start doing this is, I'm gonna screen share super quick. This is the vibe. I think I shared it last week, but you were not here last week, and I want to show you. So
show me.
This is, go to Pinterest. I love Pinterest. Big Pinterest fan over here. Boards on boards on boards. All right. What I want is a board called Wavelength. Where are you at? Should be at the top.
There it is. On the right side.
Right.
Like third down. Maybe third or fourth down.
Boom. There it is. Thanks, Josh. All right. And then one called Industrial Design. There you are, my friend. All right. So this is what I want to do. I want to start mixing software and like hardware and like 3D printing, and create some of these like retro futuristic style things. Like this one is just like, look at this. Isn't that just like so sick, stinking cool? So that is like what I want to start doing. I've got a couple ideas for like what I want. Like I liked this one because it had like the e-ink,
that teenage engineering kind of look. I love that.
Yeah. So like there's like a bunch of different like approaches, vibes that I could take. I just love these ones that are like the translucent type stuff, where it's like old school, like everyone wanted the clear Game Boy. So like that is kind of like, I want to start doing things that are like a mix of like my software background and my like hardware interests. And I got a 3D printer. It's a Bamboo Labs.
There you go. That's mine.
And I got the whole shebang, and I'm going to get started. And I can't wait to share. Like I want to like video, because this is like the first time that I've done like something brand new from scratch, where I don't do anything in the same way, where that's not just me sitting in front of a screen. So it's like, I've got the camera that I got for filming at Laracon, the Osmo. And so I think I'm going to try and just do like a film it and just share like vlog style of like how I'm learning and building and printing and trying to like make this kind of stuff. And I thought I'm not going to commit to this. I'm going to try to do this, everybody. No matter what, we always show up on Fridays, but like I would love to start sharing clips of like this on the Riff and Refine channel.
Yeah.
This feels like the type of stuff that is like our stuff, you know? So I don't want to like share it on like a personal channel or anything. I think it just fits the ethos of our channel.
Yeah.
And like maybe I could start sharing this type of like makery type stuff. Because then I think that kind of pulls in, you know, we were talking about like hackathon or a type of in-person, like West Boss, like the syntax people do a lot kind of stuff like this. Big fan of like Adam Savage's like tested workshop kind of thing. Like this feels like that vibe. Like this feels like I want to go that direction. So
yeah, I love it. Joshua Clark says, "Looks straight out sci-fi." So cool. And
then, yeah, like that
opaque plastic. That orange cube looks so cool.
Love some opaque plastic.
So yeah, we're gonna have to share notes, and we'll just do it on the show then too. But like,
I do not have a multimeter. I purchased one, and I'm waiting for it to come in because there's so many things I don't know that I don't know. It is gonna be so funny because I'm gonna like try stuff, and it's just gonna be like, you can't do that because you are missing this like very, very interesting thing that you don't know about.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll have to share notes about like what we're learning, because I'm learning how to create my own 3D printed designs, and I'm wanting to do the hardware piece too.
Ooh, that's fun. I actually am very familiar with like modeling.
Yeah,
modeling, very comfortable. That's what I like did in like all of my schooling.
Yeah,
like actually doing any type of electronics or hardware or anything like that, not a chance, not even a little bit.
Yep. That's what I want to do an e-ink display actually right on this wall back here. I want to make it so that I can like potentially have people on a website, like that way during videos you can see like little glimpses.
Ooh, like whoever's like it's just there all the time, and maybe what you put shows up in a video.
Yep. But 3D print like a nice little case for it. Like make it look nice on my wall kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, I think I told her last week or 2 weeks ago that I was starting to make my own keytar, and a lot of that is being 3D printed. That I'm working to like piece pieces together.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about that one.
And it's based on like teenage engineering, like that same kind of style where it's like a little bit. I'm doing a yellow, and a little bit of
classic
yellow gray
glasses. Yeah. All right, I love it. We're gonna have to just keep the updates rolling then.
This is now a 3D printing show.
This is now like a maker show. Sorry. No, this is great. Like this is exactly like what we were talking about, where it's like it doesn't matter like what you're creating. You can mix and be creative and create in a bunch of different ways.
Keep creating.
Absolutely. There is two things. One. I don't remember what one is, but two is this. I made a promise to Allie because guess
That's
what?
The important one.
Guess what I got? A 3D printer and a whole lot of fun new ideas and projects to go down. Rabbit holes to go down. Guess what is still not done? The cottage. So
I was gonna say the cupboards aren't closed.
So I promised Allie, I said, I will not even open the box. It is sitting right here. I don't know if I can turn the camera that much so you can actually see it. The box is right there, and it will stay there unopened until I finish the cottage. And I cannot open, I cannot use, I cannot do any of my hardware 3D printing enjoyable sounding things until I finish what I planned on finishing. 3D printer that I got is a Bamboo Labs P1S, and I got it with. I went ahead and got it with the AMS on top. Yep. It was on like an incredible sale. Had to get it.
Oh yeah, sweet. We're twins now.
Yes.
So other than finishing the cottage, what are you doing next week?
What am I doing next week? I am 100% finishing the cottage. Got all the pieces and things that I need to do that. I am going on vacation with the family at the end of the week. We are going to, there's a place down in South Alabama called Fairhope, and it's like this little like on the bay little downtown area, and there's a resort called the Grand Hotel, and they've got like this like giant cool swimming pool with like a slide, and it's right on a beach. Like there's the pool area that's like this giant pool that's super nice with like poolside French fries, all the good stuff. Ooh. And then like a beach on the other side of the pool. So it's like you can do sand with little kids, or you can be by the pool or in the pool or down the
there you go.
And it's just, it's so fun. It's gonna be great. It's our first time going with kids on a overnight where we're all gonna be in the same room. So we've got a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So we will take all the prayers that we can get that everyone sleeps and feels great. But it's gonna be a good time.
There you go. I love it.
But yeah, that's the big thing next week, and then just wrapping up the last little bit. Like I'm done with all my demos and stuff for my talk next month.
Nice.
Now I've just got to do the
schedule.
Fun part of, and I'm not gonna change. Like I already designed slides. I'm not gonna create a whole new design. I'm just going to use the same one because nobody that's at this conference was at Laracon, so same design, just new content to go inside the slides.
I love it.
Perfect. What you got going on, Josh?
I am not too much. I've got some bigger things at work. I'm wrapping up the new Laravel kind of like micro courses that we're doing. So that's I'm going to be probably recording and finishing up that website next week. Mm-hmm. And then in personal stuff, I'm still I finally have all the pieces for my keytar. So that is what I'm like. I'm putting it together first, like just on my table, and then figuring out, okay, is this how I want it before I actually print everything? But I have the carbon fiber type filament that I'm going to be printing it with. I have the hardened head. I just need to learn. I just need to figure out how to actually model it and create it to the actual size I need. That's going to be the learning.
You're going to have to riff on it. It's going to take a lot. I think the best thing.
It's going to take a lot of filament.
The best thing that I've learned about this kind of stuff is that you just have to try. We
try it out.
Mark Jakewith was like, dude, as soon as you start, hop on a call and I'll give you like my rundown of having used it for like the past 2 years of like, here's things that you don't really think about, but are like better ways to approach things. I'm like, there's probably so many little things, because he was like talking about like tolerances and like, there's a way, like if you're not sure how something will fit together, if you're like trying to connect it to something else, like you can do like a minimum print to like validate that it fits without trying to print an entire component off and use a bunch of filament, that kind of stuff.
Entire 52-inch guitar.
Exactly. But man, like Shane's got he upgraded to a P1S.
There you go.
He has it here, but he was like, I switched over to this account. But yes, he upgraded to the P1S with the AMS. There's so many of us now. Do we need to just have 3D AMS? Printing club?
Yeah, we just have like a P1S podcast show.
Yeah. We're just going to talk about it all the time. But yes, no, I want to figure out how to use my like Osmo or whatever as like another camera for our live show. And like you probably already know how to do it with your camera setups and stuff, but be able to show like in progress work.
Yeah.
Using.
I wonder if you could. It has a camera inside of it that you can see it during prints.
Really?
And I wonder if I could hook that up to my PC. I know I can see it on my phone. But that'd be interesting.
Dude. If you got it hooked up, if anyone's gonna get it hooked up to OBS, it's gonna be you.
Just be like, plop it. But then the last thing I'm doing next week is I'm
like in the top corners of our like. It's gonna be us, and then in the top, it's just gonna be our 3D printers going.
There's a new build right there. Yeah, that's awesome. The last thing I'm doing next week is I'm bringing back, or I'm not bringing back. I'm starting. I realized that I need to start blogging because there's so many things like the kids thing. There's so many things I want to share thoughts on that, but I don't want to write it out. So I'm gonna do like my own version of notes on work, basically.
Heck yeah, dude! Have you seen John's notes on play?
I have.
So good. I love it. I want more people doing that.
And so I'm going to call it Good Maker's Morning. And every morning,
Ooh,
I'm just going to hey,
jump
like
on
here's a
chat.
5-minute thing that I'm like thinking of this morning.
Yeah, dude.
I'll have AI transcribe it into a decent-ish blog post, and then I have something to put on a website that I need to build.
Love
I
that.
haven't built the website yet, but
It's fine.
I'll get
You don't
there.
need a
I'll
website.
get there.
It's
That's
easier.
what started
Throw
this
it,
whole
throw it in a
thing.
podcast feed.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. And then the website can come later.
Yeah. I was like, that's what started this whole show anyway. So like it'll get there.
It'll get there.
Me wanting a website.
Who needs website? What are those anyway? We don't build websites anymore. We're 3D
Oh
printing.
yeah.
Just 3D print your little audio clips. All
Fresh
right.
Makers Morning. Sign me up now.
Oh,
I will,
remember what
Josh.
the other thing was. But
Oh, yeah.
we need to wrap up. Okay, I'm not going to go into detail on this. We'll save it for next week.
Okay, go for it.
The other thing was this idea of like, it's this guy who took like a Raspberry Pi and it's on its like own little network that you can connect to, and it has a website on the Raspberry Pi that can only be accessed if you're close to the Raspberry Pi. So it's like this idea of like, it's this idea of like a in-person like an experience that like only people who I meet get to experience this digital thing.
That's cool.
And I was like, I love that as an idea. I'm like, I'm gonna riff on that and I'm gonna figure out something cool, because it'd be also cool if you're one of the people who got to experience that thing in person. You've now got some like collectible like some kind of way to indicate that you did get to see it. Like you get some kind of token as an
NFT.
Maybe, I don't know. Nothing crazy, like just some kind of way to like prove that you did it, that you were like one of the people who got to experience it.
Yeah, it's a good way to like.
Seemed fun.
We can launch that at the first Riff and Refine conference.
Perfect.
There we go.
Love it. All right, that's all I got. I remember
that's all I got
right
too.
in the last wire. We can riff on that one later.
Sweet. Well, till next time, everyone.
Peace.
See ya.